What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina Hall, and today we are going to be talking about some of the strangest things that I have seen on showings along with my clients. So buckle up because it's going to get weird. Let's get into the video. Okay, so I recently put up a poll on my Insta stories asking what videos y'all wanted to see next. Now, to be clear, I fully planned on making like every single one of those topics, but the poll spoke for itself, okay? That people really just want to know about what they want to know about. So y'all chose tea. Apparently, everybody is just a little bit nosy, and honestly, I get it. Because after showing dozens and dozens of homes, I have seen some things. So today we're talking about the strangest things I've seen while touring homes. Now, before we jump into the video, I do want to say something important. This is not a video to bash the homeowners or sellers, okay? Selling a home is very stressful. Life happens, and sometimes things simply just don't go according to plan. After every story, right, that I explain that I've experienced, I'm also going to share what buyers should watch for and what sellers can do differently so their home shows better and sells faster. So it's kind of going to be funny, but then giving you the educational, okay? So think of it as a little bit of entertainment mixed with some real estate education. All right, let's go. I also think it'll be a little bit helpful for context for those of you who are first-time home buyers, have never gone on a showing before, or have never sold a house before, to know a little bit about the process and how it works. So when you have an agent and you see a home you like, you usually send it to your real estate agent and say, hey, I'd like to see this home in person, and request a showing. At that time, your agent requests a showing on a date and time that works for you and the sellers. It's important to know that most homes, when they're being sold, are still lived in. So they're not vacant. The majority of them, right? There are some that are vacant, but the majority of them are still lived in. So the sellers have to get up and leave during your showing time, right? If they have any kids, they bring their kids. If they have any dogs, they bring their dogs, and they have to remove themselves from the home for a certain amount of time for buyers to walk through and view the home. So during a showing request, we make sure that it is confirmed on both ends, where the buyer is confirming that time and the seller is confirming that time, so there's no problems and everyone knows that the house is going to be shown during that time. So now that you know that and a little bit of the back end on how it works, let's go ahead and get into our first story. We're just going to kick it off with number one, which isn't something I actually experienced, but it's something my real estate coach has experienced, and he shared it with me, the naked homeowner. So again, this didn't happen to me, thank goodness, but it was a real event that happened to my real estate coach that he shared. So he scheduled a showing, it was accepted, everything looked good, they arrived to the home, unlocked the door. The minute he said they walked through the house, the homeowner came sprinting across the room like it was like a hallway, completely naked with just like a towel and trying to wrap up. And apparently they had no idea the showing had been confirmed or there was a showing. So him and this client just completely walked into this house. Can you imagine how mortified? Like, that's exactly why it's so important to keep track of showing time notifications. If there's another showing time that was scheduled, cancellations, turn on notifications, alert your clients. If you are a seller and you are unsure whether a showing was confirmed, double check with your agent before relaxing around your house. Okay, trust me, your realtor wants to avoid these situations just as much as you do. I'm pretty sure everybody was scarred from that situation. The rest of these stories were personal and did happen to me and my clients. So coming in at number 2 is cat poop on the counter. So yeah, like I shared, most of the time homeowners will take pets or anything with them out of the home when there is a showing. But for some reason, there's something with cats. Like, I'm not a cat person, so somebody explain it to me in the comments. There's something with cats where homeowners will not take their cats away for showings. They'll leave the cats in the home because they're like, well, it's an indoor cat. What does that mean? Does that, what, like, I know it's an indoor cat, but you can't take the indoor cat outdoor for just a little bit? Like, maybe I'm just not a cat person. I don't understand the correlation. Like, what? So a lot of sellers will leave their indoor cat in the home and just kind of notify the showing agent and say, hey, just so you know, the cat will stay in the home, because they say most of the time cats will stay under the bed, or they're scared, or they'll kind of stay away. Now, again, every house I have shown with cats, no cats do not be hiding. They be out and about. But let's get into the story. So we walked into the home, which was a very lovely home, and they were able to see the foyer for dining and everything like that. When we walked through the hallway, it opened up into this beautiful kitchen. At that time, we could see the cat in the sink, oddly enough, and I don't know if we scared the cat or what. The cat scurried across like the countertop and pooped on the kitchen countertop. Not on the floor, on the kitchen countertop. Needless to say, that was all my buyers could focus on after that. They really didn't want to walk around to continue to look into the kitchen cabinets or the layout of the home. Not to mention the odor started to reek. And this cat was like, I don't know what was going on. This cat was like friendly, but also scared. Like it was purring, but it was also like rubbing up against like, you know, my client's legs. And it just made it very uncomfortable. So my clients didn't even make it upstairs. They did not even view the entirety of the home, and they made it to the exit to move on to the next house. So needless to say, to my sellers, please learn from this experience. If you have any pets, reptiles, birds, cats, dogs, it is most ideal to take them out of the home during a showing so that the buyers can actually go through the home peacefully. If for some reason you have an indoor cat that can't go outdoor, which I do not understand, let the at least showing agent know in advance. Try to clean the litter box so that there is no odors. You don't want to become nose blind, so have somebody else walk through, or I don't know. I mean, can you crate a cat? That's ideal too. I know cats and dogs, people are like, that's not the same. You can't crate a cat. Like, I don't know. But if you could just crate a cat for 30 minutes, that'd be great, because not everybody loves cats. Not everybody wants the cat purring and rubbing around their leg and pooping on the counter, because this very well could have been an opportunity for the buyers to purchase this home and also for the sellers to have got a offer. But unfortunately, the cat turned them off and they walked away and they put an offer in somewhere else. So this next showing, I showed a husband, and his wife was in the military, so she was on FaceTime. They were looking to expand. And I'm going to call this one the mystery door. Okay, and this made me laugh. I was honestly for a lack of words. When we walked the home, everything was good, and then we came up to one bedroom, right? And the bedroom door was closed. No problem. Went to go open it. Open it, it was locked, and I was like, oh. And then I looked at the door, and it's a big construction paper on the door with handwritten on the construction paper, under construction. So naturally, like, our minds went wild, like wondering, like, well, what the heck does that mean, right? Like, under construction? Like, the door was locked, and there was just a note that said under construction, and that area of the room was completely inaccessible. How in the world? I mean, tips for sellers: if a room isn't finished, that is okay, but buyers do not like mystery. Nobody will buy mystery. You know, either complete the project or show it unfinished, or have your listing agent explain, you know, what's being finished, so buyers aren't assuming the worst. But just leaving it completely inaccessible, that just was not a true showing, and the buyers could not know what they were actually buying. Like, I don't even know how I can explain this one. Like, he was like, "How will book for a showing and I can't see the house?" And I was like, I don't know. And it was just such a laughing situation, because we had to imagine, like, what is back there? Like, is the ceiling sunk in? Like, is it just like maybe paint? We had no idea. We never knew. And when I let the listing agent know, she wasn't even aware that the sellers decided to lock and close that door. So it was just an odd situation all around. They did offer for us to come back and then look at the house, but at that point, he just felt really uncomfortable with it and moved on. My next strangest showing is going to be the alarm disaster. So this one was for one of my investor clients, and it was pure chaos. Okay, we unlocked the home, walked inside, and I knew there was an alarm because it says that in the showing notes for agents. And the alarm immediately just starts ticking, no problem. I enter the code that they gave me, except the code didn't work. Okay, cool. Try it again. Didn't work. Now the alarm, I guess when you enter it wrong twice, it starts screaming. So it's not just like do do do. It's like bang bang bang. Like everyone's looking around. I'm trying the code, and the next thing you know, like I'm calling the listing agent. Listing agent can't hear me because the alarm is blaring. Like I had to walk outside, and then my buyers took it upon themselves. Like, nah, the alarm's going off, but whatever. They're just still walking the home and looking at it. I'm trying to diffuse this situation, and the listing agent's like, I'm at a doctor's appointment right now. Like, I gave you the code. And I was like, the code's not working. And she's like, oh, well, I don't know. And so we just sat there and we toured the home with the alarm screeching. Like, it was so loud. And we still toured the home because, I mean, what you gonna do? And by the time we finished, who do you think arrived? Of course, the police arrived because the alarm system was obviously functioning, and it alerted the police. And I had to then sit there as my clients left. I told them I'll handle the situation, yada yada, and I had to sit there with the police to verify that I was actually a real estate agent. I was not burglarizing these people's homes. I had to get the listing agent on the phone. I had to get the sellers on the phone, and it was just a whole situation. Like, having to just debrief after that encounter and then have the police trying to figure out what's going on, it was horrendous. So, tips for my sellers. Honestly, if you are selling a home and you have a security system, I really would disassemble it at all. Like, what is it? Disassemble? Turn it off, okay? Turn it off. Like, if you have a security alarm, do not set it. If you're having a showing, just do not turn it on. It's irrelevant. If you know that you're having someone come into your house to do a showing, just do not turn it on at all. Even if you have one in your house, it's just a lot more seamless for the buyers. And if you do, for some reason, still want to set the alarm, even though you know you have someone about to walk into your house, please make sure you supply your listing agent with the correct code, because otherwise you will create an experience like that where the police are showing up, the buyers cannot actively view the home because the alarm is so loud. Sometimes people have children, and that can really irritate their children or make them distressed if the alarm is sounding. So again, my advice is, please, if you have an alarm, just do not utilize it during the times of your showing. There's no need to set it. I would completely keep it off during the duration of showings. I kind of forgot what number we were on, but my next strangest experience was the bee attack. Now this one I will never forget. Okay, I will, because me and bees, we don't mix. Now, me and honey do. I know that sounds crazy. But anyways, so at the home when we arrived, there was a huge bee's nest at the entrance. And I'm trying to unlocked the lock, but I mean, this nest was like right underneath, you know, when there's kind of like a covered porch ottoman, it was right underneath right there. So when we opened the screen door, it kind of would hit on the bee's nest, and they were PO'd. Like every time we opened that door, because I had to open it to get to the lockbox, it was like kind of shaking on the bee's nest, and they were coming out and you can hear them, and I was like, ah! So I'm jumping back, and the funny thing is the wife is like, phew, she's flying. Like the only reason I'm kind of like keeping my composure is because I have to get the lockbox to get them in the house. Like I have to. They can't see the house unless I unlock the house. So I finally like grab the lockbox and like make my way off of the steps. Like I jump. Like, okay, it's 3 steps. I didn't step down 1 step. I jumped across the steps. Okay, I became leapfrog. Jumped across the steps, opened the lockbox, had the key. Then I'm like, well, dang, Nina, now you gotta go back up to the door because you gotta open the door. So I make my way, open the door, but again, as she's behind me, her and her husband, and like we're opening the screen door, it's hitting on the nest, and they just come flying out. At that point, I guess they were so irritated, and they were kind of swarming, and I got the door open. I ran inside the door and closed the door on my clients. Thankfully, you know, they still like me and they understand, but I sure did. I said, listen, y'all come back in when they calm down. They did. They came back in, and so we laughed about it. But again, that's crazy. But again, I'm super hyped when I tell this story because it is funny now, but at the moment, it was so not funny. To my sellers, please, like, curb appeal and cleanliness of your front porch and everything people focus on, but also focus on effectiveness, right? Like if you have any like tons of pollen on your front porch or bees or wasp nests, like go ahead and actively get those down, especially if it's like right on your front porch or right on your back porch, because you know that there will be people going in and out of your home. And that's not always the most comfortable experience. And once we got in the house, we really didn't want to get out the house. I guess that's a good thing, but they didn't buy that house. But again, the experience is what matters, and it's really what buyers take away. I am actually in the process of buying my next property for my family now, and doing it this time around as an agent myself. I am reminded that real estate is 100% emotional, okay? It really, really is. Yes, people look for practicality. They look for things like in their budget, in their school zone, the amount of beds and baths they want. But really, most buyers I have noticed buy when they feel the emotional pull, when they feel a connection, right? When they walk into the home, the experience, okay? People buy off of their experience and how it makes them feel. And honestly, all of these events affect that. So for sellers, you have to understand and know, like, pull on those feelings, pull on those experiences. I have also gone through showings where we go in and sellers have little snacks right in the kitchen for buyers to eat as they walk the home. That's a good experience. Or they have a candle lit, or they have a sensory sense going, right? Diffusing into the air every few seconds. That's a good experience, right? You want to leave people with a fresh experience where there was no really time where they could just declutter and enjoy themselves, right? But when people leave with a bad experience, it overshadows everything. It could have been a beautiful house, a beautiful kitchen, a beautiful layout, the perfect price, and I may try to tell my sellers like, hey, this meets all your requirements of XYZ. But if they are overshadowed with the experience that they had at the showing, that is what they will tie the house to, not for what it is, but for the emotions tied to it. So I'm going to make another video as well about me talking about purchasing my next property for my family and how that went, what I learned from it. We're ready to wrap up closing this month. Because listen, it's different. It's a little different this time. My first home I purchased, and I was not yet a real estate agent, and this time I purchased the home and also represented myself, and it was something. So I think it'll be interesting to also make a video to hear my take on that and what I've learned about sitting in my clients' shoes, and also what I've learned about how I can better serve my clients. So we will get into that as well. So there you have it, guys. That was a few of the strangest experiences I have had thus far with showings, and I'm sure that there will continue to be more as I stay in real estate. So this could really even become a series. Hit that like, comment down below if you would like this to become a series, and subscribe if you're new to my channel, if you enjoyed this content and you just liked being a little nosy today. And of course, if you're planning to buy or sell in the Central Virginia area, I would love to help guide you, and hopefully we do not experience a showing like that. I will try to keep my composure if there's fees again, and not shut the door in any of my clients' faces moving forward. And also, tell me down below, if you're from somewhere else, a different area, what is the strangest thing that you have seen on a showing while you were purchasing? Again, my name is Nina Hall, your favorite realtor. If you'd like to work with me, my link is also down below. You can book a free consultation, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.